Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and once again we connect to enhance our learnings. Today we will go and work with Terminal Emulator, which is our software's way of working with boxes like Linux, Unix, or mainframes for that reason. So as you can see, I have just gone and clicked on New Task Editor, and I'm about to enter my task editor over here so that I can start interfacing with the environment at hand and start with the demonstration. So I have just landed inside the task editor, as you can see, and I can see the terminal emulator command is open right there on my screen. I am going to initiate this particular demonstration now by first bringing in this connect statement, because we first need to be able to connect to the box at hand before we can start performing any operations. So the box at hand is sdf.org, which is basically a free site where we can go and execute our Linux, Unix commands. Terminal type, you have different terminal types, as you're all aware. So we are currently going to be using ANSI type. Terminal, our software, for the sake of everybody's information, does support other terminal types also, like VT100, TN3270, or TN5250 environment also. Terminal prompt. Now, terminal prompt is basically the prompt which comes on a box when you connect to it, where you can start giving in your usernames and passwords. So we need to tell our software that what is the terminal prompt, so that it can detect the presence of the same and then proceed with the other commands at hand. So the terminal prompt in the case of the environment at hand is login colon, which is basically what I have put over here. Further, as what I'm doing over here is I will now be clicking on the advanced view. So you can see our software does support a wide variety of connections. Currently I'm using Telnet, but it does support SSH1 and SSH2 also, should we have a requirement to work on these connection types. Now when you are working with these connection types, SSH1 or SSH2, we should be aware of the authentication details. That is a mandate. Without that, obviously we cannot connect with the environment at hand. So I'm currently choosing connection type as Telnet, and I click on save. Now once the software is able to detect the login prompt and able to make a connection to it successfully, first and foremost we need to pass in the username and password. So I'm just bringing in a sendtext command. So sendtext is how you can key in information into the box at hand. So I'm putting in my username first and foremost, and after the username has been keyed in, obviously what we usually do is we do a enter key press, which is basically what you are seeing me also having chosen over here. So that will then bring in the password pop-up, so that I can then send in my password. So again, a sendtext command for that purpose, and the password also happens to be automation in the case of this box. So having given the password also, again enter key press. Now many environments like Linux, Unix, or mainframe, for that reason, they require some key combinations to be pressed before you can interactively start working with commands. So in the case of this particular box, it expects you to press a backspace key, which I am now pressing. Subsequently, it expects us to press a enter key. So the key enter is what I'm sending in next, and that again has to be followed by another enter key press, which I am further putting in. Once all these things have been put in, then it is ready to take commands from us. So what I will do is I will send in a command like maybe ls, which is basically the dir version of Linux directory listing. and then the enter key press will happen so that you can see the listing of the directory in which you are in. And let's say I also want to see what is my current working directory. For that, in Linux we have the print working directory command, pwd, which I am sending in. Again, after that I am pressing the enter key so that the command can be executed. Now all these commands which we have put in, they all happen so fast that it is difficult to understand without putting in a delay that whether things went smoothly or what it is that we precisely executed over here. So for that we will put a wait command. So I'm drawing a wait statement, and I'm going to say wait till terminal prompt appears. Wait till this prompt appears. Make it wait for a few milliseconds so that you can see what happened, you can understand what happened. This is just for that purpose. And once all this is done, then we can disconnect from the box so that the session closes, terminates properly. And that is our good script for connecting to a terminal. So let's save this. Let me give it a name as Terminal Emulator 1, and let me go and save it. So that's my first script which I have just gone and specified over here. And let me go and take it for a quick spin. So going and running this one. And there it goes. Logs in, and you can see my two commands, ls getting executed, pwd getting executed. Ls is the directory listing, pwd stands for the current working directory. So we are good. And before that, it expects some key combos to be pressed and shows you some default statistics and information about the environment as such. So as you can see, we were able to go and log in successfully into this box. So that was one part of this demonstration. I'm going to exit over here, and I'm going to close this connection also so that this comes to a closure. Now with respect to Terminal Emulator, our software supports working in shared mode. That means I can share this session across two or more scripts. I can share this session across a couple of scripts. That is what the share session command is all about. So I'm saying let's share this session so that using the same good connection which I have made over here, I will be able to run more than one script. So after I have gone on the first line and done a share session, as you can see me doing over here, what I will do is, after saving this script so that all this thing also keeps getting recorded successfully, I'm going to go click on new, and we are going to go and this time do a reverse, as in we will try to capture the contents of the screen of the Terminal Emulator window which we saw open and where we saw all the commands running earlier. So you want to capture all the contents of the Terminal Emulator window and get all the lines from the Terminal Emulator window and put it inside the prompt assignment variable. That's what we want. So we are saying let's capture all the text of the Terminal Emulator window, put it inside the prompt assignment variable. Capture all the text. So get text allows you to do a screen capture, captures all the screen text depending on whatever lines we specify, and put it in a variable. If in case you are working on environments like TN3270 or TN5250, you can even pick up the hidden text also. Since this is not that environment, so we will just be able to capture what we are able to see on the screen at that moment of time. So I'm going to go and save this. And just to ascertain that the capture was proper and complete, I'm going to put a message box, and we will just pop up these values on the screen what we just captured, so that we can see that yes, the capture was good and complete. So that helps us ascertain that fact. Also, once this has been done, let me execute a command in my second script also, and here I'm calling a sendText. And the command that I want to get executed is CL, which stands for calendar. So the command will be written in, and then the enter key will be pressed, and we will see the results on the screen. So I'm going to save this command. I'm going to save it from the top, and we are going to give this script a name as terminal emulator number second, and I'm going to go and save it. So that creates my second script also. Now it is about how I can go from the first script to the second script. To make a transgression from the first script to the second script, we will call a run task command. So run task allows me to call one task inside another. That is basically what is the purpose of the run task command, and that is precisely what we would like to showcase. So let me go and bring in a run task command over here. So I drag a run task which I keep on this ls, and I click on browse, and I am going to go over here and pick up my terminal emulator 2. That is my second script. So I say run task, call my second script over here, and I can go and save it. So after this line ls execution, I am saying run task, where I go and call my second script, and that is basically how control will go from one script to another. So you run this script, let's do a quick dry run. What is now going to happen? It's going to connect to the box, given the username and password. Backspace key will be pressed, followed by 2 enter key combos. Then the ls command will be executed, and then the control goes to the secondary script, where it will do a screen capture, pull it on a pop-up on the screen. Then it will execute a calendar command, and then control will come back from the next line onwards onto the primary script, where it will show me the current working directory. That will go into a wait mode, and then it will disconnect. So this, like I said, is about the terminal emulator. Further, we are also trying to see that how we can share the connection between two scripts and get that done. So we're just going and doing that. So the first script getting executed, login happening, and you can see the message box popping up. That's the message box. So you can see over here that we are right now at this spot. So the ls command got executed. Ls command, if I can just ls command got executed. So this is where we have the ls command getting executed. Then control went to this line run task, so we'll learn inside the script. Did a screen capture, and this message box is currently what we are seeing over here. And once I click on this, then the calendar command will execute. So I click on this, and then we should be able to see the calendar command getting executed, and then control goes back to the primary script, where the print working directory command gets executed at the end, and you can see the pwd has also got executed. So this way we can see we were able to go back and forth between two scripts by means of sharing the session, and then it is now in a wait mode, waiting for this condition to materialize. So we are good to go and disconnect this, close this, bring it to a closure. So this was something about the ability of a software to work with a Linux, Unix box, or a mainframe for that reason. Instead of executing just simple ls and pwd commands, you could have executed bash files, shell script for that reason, and the job would still have been done. So that is something about the terminal emulator which we just wanted to come on board. And now what I'll do is I'll just go and thank you all for attending this session. Until next time, thank you so much.